I'm recording it though, Kathy. Anyways, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Hermit's Corner. I'm joined with my friend Kathleen from Kathy's Guidelight Tarot, and we're doing another episode of World News and Current Events. How you doing today, Kathy?
I'm doing great. And this was fun. We were sitting here talking about this and decided we needed to record this.
Exactly. So who are we were talking about? We were talking about Peter Navarro. And those of you who may not be aware, Peter Navarro is an author, and that he was also the director of trade and marketing policy. That was who he also worked under Donald Trump during his administration. Do you want to add anything onto that, Kathy?
He's a slime ball, but
And as with all of our news and current events type questions or political questions,
this is my opinion only and for entertainment purposes.
For entertainment purposes only, as you're seeing down below right here. It's for entertainment purposes only. So we came up with, there was an article that he didn't attend to his the investigation, the trial for what was it?
Subpoenas.
Yes, he didn't show up for his subpoena. So we're like, why not? And it asked us some. It's like, well, why not? So I wanted to get a good read on his energy. So again, I said, what is the current mental state of Peter Navarro's energy? And I've already threw some cards out on this, only because we were discussing this, but just between Kathy and me. But we figured, she suggested we should just go live and record it.
We should record this because we do some really great readings behind the scenes when we're practicing and stuff. And then after the fact, we always go, "Oh, we should have recorded that." So,
like, drats, it would have made a good conversation starter.
It would have made a good show,
and people will actually watch this stuff. So you'll not only see it on my channel, but I'll also send Kathy a copy of it, and it'll be on her channel as well. Hopefully, we'll be releasing it around the same time.
Yeah, and it's funny because Dean and I, we talk a lot, and we read a lot behind the scenes about this, that, and the other. And we really need to start recording more of our conversational readings, because we have some readings come out that you guys never get to see.
Yes.
And we really need to step it up on our politicals, because so many people do politicals. We try not to constantly readdress everything that all the other readers are reading, but these are topics that are really true and dear to our heart, and we might as well get in on it too.
And also, to these topics between other readers, there's going to be spectrums of commonality. You'll see some slight differences, or you may see some other ways that we may interpret things differently. And remember, Spirit will only show us what it's able to show us. And sometimes it's just the way the question's worded. It might be off. So take that with a grain of salt, and everything.
We are feeling collective energy, and that's what our guides are giving us, is what is coming through the collective, and what is maybe even predestined in the outcomes of what these are supposed to come. So,
and this information the information we are pulling, and the energies we're pulling on, is from today, which is the 3rd of June, 2022. So it can change anytime with free will. So right now, since I already have my cards in place, I don't know if Kathy got hers in place. I'll go ahead and start first. Okay. So what I have when I asked this, what's the current mental state, I was shuffling my deck, as I always do, and I was like, I need to stop here for some reason. But the question wasn't fully formulated yet, but you know how Spirit, your mind works faster than what you are willing to say. It knows where you're going. Spirit knows where your thought process is going. So for the grand scheme of things, at the bottom of my deck, the overall the direction of this general read for him on this topic right here is what's this? This is the Page of Cups. Let me get my screen a little bigger so you can see the card better. The Page of Cups. Getting right with oneself. It's almost like healing energy, the energies around him, bringing that, it's like that truth, that healing, that like being right with oneself, or bringing correcting an unjust almost.
This
Bringing
is his mental state, remember.
Yeah. Or
his mindset is that.
Yeah, it's his mindset. So, in the same time, this could also be that he feels like he's probably a victim, and he's trying to be like ground himself. Like, well, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong. All of those feelings, all those emotions are up and around him. Okay, so center of my reading, I do have the Two of Wands. So, did he purposely intend to miss it? Yes, I think it was calculated. And why do I say that? Because it's the two. The Two of Wands doesn't appear just out of chance. It's like all planning and scheming and orchestrating things to happen. So he knew he had somewhere to be. He just chose not to. And why? Because of the Fool. It's not. Okay.
I love it.
It has something to do with the fact is like you can't make me. It's like it's the retaliation. This is like I know where I need to be, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do what I need to do to serve myself, my own personal gain. And two, you can't force me to do something I don't want to do. It's very childlike. Again, very childlike. Like you're not going to tell me what I need to do. It's like
I make the rules here.
I make my own rules, my own destiny, which is true. We all have that power to making our own rules, our own destiny. But
right to inflict it on others.
But I'm willing to say this. Because he didn't do that, it will allow other things to happen. It set a whole other can of worms in motion, which this is what is crossing the situation, the Tower. This can be destruction to his own demise, breaking things down. And why do I say things will be brought down? Things are going to be held accountable. Things will be like brought into light. And why do I say this? He's avoiding this. He doesn't want this to happen. He's looking for any and all opportunities to avoid this turmoil. This is no spiritual enlightenment right here. This is I'm running away from my own responsibility.
Our moment with Trump.
Yeah. So why do I say that he's running away from his responsibilities? I'll get to that in a moment. It's a good card too, but maybe not for him, but it's good in the unveiling process. On the surface, he's very much worried. He's paranoid, and he knows that there's something going on. He knows that with the Nine of Swords, that he's in trouble, he's in danger, his livelihood, his name, his even the respect of others, how they may see him. He's worried about anything and everything that it's associated to his name. Okay. And above him, I feel like it's justice here because I have the King of Swords above him. So there is somebody lurking around him that's going to hold him accountable for what is going on. And I think this is another thing that he fears. He fears of losing control. He is an author, so you can say that this could be very much him in one aspect because of his form of communications, right? Since he is an author.
Could be the GOJ right there too.
But whoever this is, I feel like with this being below and this being above, I have a feeling that this is what he's fearing. He's fearing somebody throwing the book at him. Or bringing
his own truths.
Yeah, airing out his dirty laundry. Again, like I said, he's a writer. He's all in that creative energy, which is probably why we get the Seven of Cups. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a better angle on it. Which, again, this is like the moon, like Kathy's saying, illusions. And that he's writing his own narrative here. I feel like he was always in control of writing his own narrative and the narrative that others wanted him to write, right? Whether it's fictitious or truth. It was writing his own truth or other people's truths, whether they were fictitious or not fictitious. I mean, the whole idea was being in control. But hell hath no fury. I keep hearing that hell hath no fury as a woman scorn, because Lady Justice does turn up. Because why? What happens? Mother Nature, the higher ground, will hold you accountable for all the stuff you pull, whether good, bad, or the ugly, or somewhere in between. With this judgment, you're going to have to be able to stand up and rise above and hold yourself accountable to whatever comes your way. Okay? So this judgment, meaning you're going to be held accountable no matter what, whether here in the here and now or later, you will be held accountable. And I think this is the part of the tower moment that he's fearing. Now, let's see. The advice from Spirit is, let's see.
Dear Abby.
Dear Abby, yes.
Jimmy says, not funny.
I have the two of cups here. So this is the current situation right now. This is how he's feeling within his self-view. He feels like he is committed. He's supportive. It's a team effort. Whether whoever his network is, he's supporting. This could be even the relationships, his relationships. The fear of losing them or more to gain from them. I don't know. The next card is his environment. And for me, this is a sense of loss in a way, because it is a Four of Cups, but I'm seeing a sense of loss because the truth will come out.
I heard limited options.
Yeah. That truth, the truth he doesn't want unleashed will come out. And again, this is divine intervention right here. Remember, with judgment, the divine intervention, it's going to be looming over him, and until he's going to have to own it. He's going to have to own that. Next, he's going to, again, I have the three of, what's this, swords or wands? I can't tell. I really can't.
Is it Three of Pentacles by any chance?
Oh, Three of Pentacles. There it is. There's the Pentacles. I was like, I can't tell which one this is. There's a three there. Three of Pentacles in the stained glass window. I was like, what is this?
That's his conspiracy.
Well, I was saying, what card is this? What three is this? That's what I was trying to figure out.
I kept hearing Three of Pentacles.
But yes, it's all that, like she said, conspiracy, like Kathy said. But remember, it's all that networking that he was doing, that it's going to be, that's going to be to his own undoing, right? And I wonder if he was like the thief in the night almost, and what he was doing. Because I don't know too much about him, so that's why it's kind of fresh when people read with me politically and stuff, because I don't know everything about what I'm reading on. I'm just stating what I find.
Makes it good because he's coming in blind, because he hasn't been following.
There's no bias. There's no bias. The only thing I learned about him was just vaguely from the news articles.
Just pulled off
real quickly, just so that I have an idea who I'm reading on. So, like I said, I feel like he's a thief in the night, because I do have the Seven of Swords right here. So I don't know if this was from manipulation.
I'll forward you the news clips you should watch.
Whatever he was doing, I don't think it was up to any good. Only because I have the Seven of Swords here, which tells me he's like as crafty and as cunning as a thief in the night, like stealing or excessive borrowing, whatever. This could be, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know why I said excessive borrowing anyways, but
it's what he feels he's entitled to.
But this is swiftness, and I don't know what he had his hands into. Whatever political gain in business, politics, whatever that was, this is some trickery, or I would like to say some form of fuckery, but who am I? I don't know. So I wonder, what did you get, Kathy, on this question, his mental state?
Remember, this is his mental state. Underlying the reading is the Ten of Cups, upright. And this is the deck of opposition. And he feels that he's doing the right thing for the betterment of all. It's an emotional. It's emotionally driven. He feels like he's in the right. Um, he's acting as the naive Page of Pentacles. He's delivering to his loyalties, and he feels he's the messenger of getting the message out, delivering that message, getting the person he feels that should be in office. But I get the reverse strength card for him. This is all underlying in the reading. His strength is weak. He's working in the form of weakness. He thinks he's strong and powerful and all that, but what he's done is he's diminished himself in his strength and in his power, and it's showing, and he can't hide it, and he fears that's going to be revealed about him a little too late. In the center of my reading, I get the Two of Swords upright. He feels like he had this crossroad that he needed this path he needed to cross. I like the way this card is depicted because he's facing this blindly under the light of the moon, which tells you he's doing work from the shadows. His crossroads were done in shadow. So this is a shadow side of things that and he feels he's in the right. He's making the right decisions. He's made his choices. And he feels like he's a party to the King of Cups. This is done emotionally. He thinks he's doing this for the betterment of all. This is it feels like he's in the right. He's doing this for our nation. You know, he believes in what he's doing is right. Above him, we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. He knows this is not good. This is, you know, his naivety of how this was going to play out. His plan had lots of faults in it. And not only that, but he hasn't tried to hide anything about it. He's owning it. And he's even wrote a book about everything he did and how justified he is of doing it. In the past, he's the King of Wands in reverse. He's working for the King of Wands in reverse. He thinks he has all this knowledge and power and strength, and he's protecting his king. But this is going to backfire, and he's aware of his, what his motivational drive is on this. Underneath the reading, he gets the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. He's working in karmic debt. He's working in that negative side of the karma that this is supposed to play out for our nation to change things. And this is going to come back to bite him. And he's starting to fear this now. Emotionally, mentally, he's seeing that this is not going to pan out well for him. He gets the Knight of Cups in reverse. This is usually an emotional knight that's very supportive of the troops and all that. But this knight's energy is coming out of his cup and being poured and squandered. This is that naivety that he's been moving in, thinking that he could make this work and overturn it, but it's faltering on him. And this is his future. It's going to come back and bite him. And he's fearing that. He's sitting in a lot of fear. I get the Two of Wands upright. This is his action card. He's climbing that cliff, but it doesn't look very stable. But he keeps moving forward in his action, standing firm, holding on to those weak limbs coming out of that cliff with the unstable cliffside, and he keeps climbing it. But he is on the Fool's journey, and I get the Fool in reverse. This is that Fool's journey that he's taken, that path he chose to take. And it is got a dark outcome, and he's fearing this. This is his ultimate fear is this is not going in the direction that he anticipated, that his plans and his ideas and his execution and participation of this is weighing heavy on him now. And he's not finding, I think he's trying to take that leap of faith, thinking he's going to be able to get out of this, but it's looking very bleak for him. And he's fearing that. He also gets that Two of Cups in reverse. This partnership don't serve him well. And this is his advice is hey, dude, you're on the wrong team. And now you're going to have to face it. And that's what his mental state is. It's like he's starting to question, what is this outcome? What is this partnership? Where is it leading me to? What's happening? But he feels like his outcome is going to be prosperous with this Nine of Pentacles, that he thinks he's going to be able to weasel out of it, explain his stuff away, and get away with this. But what he forgets is he wrote a book on it. He's gone on live TV and literally laid out his plan to the public. This is all evidence against him that's going, he's already brought it out to the limelight. He's already wrote his testimony down in writing. He's given verbal testimony on news broadcasts. And granted, he didn't hold his hand on the Bible and say it under oath. It's still his words, it's his writing, and it will be used against him. So I don't think, I think mentally he thinks he's going to find a way to weasel out of this. But he's got a lot of weight on him, on his actions. And so he's really stressing out right now in this. So that's what I got on his mental state. He honestly believes he's done the right thing. He's standing by his conviction. Just sort of sad.
Interesting. So this is kind of a two-part question. The next one about Peter Navarro's. I pulled the cards of what is the outlook for Navarro's subpoena, okay? And I have a feeling this is a life lesson that he was sent here to learn. I know it sounds crazy to say that, but this is some bit of karma. I feel like that was from past life issues. And why do I say that?
Part of his destiny.
Mm-hmm. And so I did pull out the past life cards you gave me, and I have 4 that came out. So that is why I'm saying it's a past life karma that he's trying to work out. And the bottom of those cards is whoops. Let's see. It's talks about, let me get this. Is that better? It's about the unrequited love. Okay? That basically the unrequited love is a one-sided love. Love that is not openly reciprocated or understood as such by the beloved. So that could very easily mean what it is in itself, the love of money, the love of, I honestly think it's his love of money, the love of success. And why? You're going to love this, Kathy. One of the first cards that came out was finances.
Yep.
Yeah. So it has to do with his finances. I think he was set, his main goal was to impart wisdom, to impart truth, but he's not handling it the way he was supposed to. This time around, this kind of event, he was supposed to impart wisdom, knowledge. When it comes to this, when it was like, it was I also get galactic, like universe. It was something he was destined to do, but the underlying that love, like having too much of a good thing, could lead to your own demise, right? So I feel like it's some past life karma that he was supposed to work out, but didn't really. I don't know. It's just working out really weird right now. Do you have any comment on that, Kathy?
I got supporting cards on it.
And I got some interesting cards on that too. So what is the outlook of his subpoena? Okay. I have the 9 of wands here.
No card.
Mm-hmm. So he's protecting something, but I feel like this is
The 9 of wands
the shoe on the other foot, though. The outlook of his subpoena. I feel like they're gonna rattle him, that cage that he's encasing himself around to protect. that this rod is that truth that's going to be released. And the card underneath that, he's worried about it yet again. So let's dig deeper here, shall we? The first card I get, what is the current outlook for that subpoena? I have the Eight of Cups here. This is still moving forward with it. This is a movement forward card. Movement forward.
That's
to
him
unleash,
walking away, isn't it?
Huh?
That's a walk away from it card. He's trying to walk away from it.
But I see this as the moving forward to it, uncovering the truth. See, there's the moon still there. They're walking towards figuring out what shadow, yeah. And I have the Death card to follow suit. It's blended with the Death card. So there's going to be an end to this and a new beginning. To me, this reads, they're going to pursue this. He's thinking he's going to try to walk away from his responsibilities, but he's in for a rude awakening, because you can only walk to the light. You can only walk to the truth. You can't keep running away in hiding in the shadows. At some point, the truth will set you free. And it's funny that I say that, because I have what's crossing him is the Hanged Man. He's going to get here. I don't know when.
He's strung himself up.
So this is him being held accountable. Remember, like I said before, the Hangman's all about sacrifices. So again, he was one of the many players that was going to be like this too. One of the many players that was there to enforce their will on justice, I guess, or oppose justice, whatever that word is I'm looking for. But yes, this is them being held accountable, and Spirit is they're going to free fall into what Spirit's going to let you do, because Spirit has a funny way of holding you accountable. And beneath that situation, there is the Ace of Wands, which is new, bold beginnings, new outlook, this is all about, the wands are all about perseverance, being true to yourself, and being true. But I also see this as, like I said, holding accountability. That tower that I had before, this is coming down with a ton of bricks. And why? This Ace of Wands is going to be the cause of it. Above him, above the situation, about the subpoena, it's all about the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, finding balance. Again, they're going to be coming after him. They're going to be looking at the finances. They're going to be looking at all his doings. They're going to be like weighing out what was necessary, what wasn't necessary. They're going to be looking at him at the fine-tooth comb. Okay? The past, it was I have the Princess of Wands or the Page of Wands. This is all about moving forward, I say. Moving forward. The wands are all about punching yourself forward, moving forward, taking charge. Somebody's spearheading this, and they're looking and wanting to find the answers, and they will find their truth, because I have the Queen of Swords for the future. So things will be revealed. I don't know how much or how little of this, but they're going to be looking at the finances and looking at what he was spending money on. They're going to be looking at the businesses aspect, whatever he was involved in, the muck that he was involved in. They're going to be looking at it, quickly looking at it with a fine-tooth comb with these two ladies.
Well, this is what the subpoena is about.
Yeah. They're
hold them accountable for testimony in regards to questions in regards to those matters.
Again, it's all about they're pursuing this. The people are pursuing this to hold him accountable. He can't just walk away. So I have the current view of this situation is the Three of Cups. Okay. It's going to be a celebration when they hold him up when they get this organized. Okay.
Let's see, justice working for us for a change.
Yeah. The Hermit. Again, like I said, they're going to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to analyze and overanalyze. This is almost to me like they're going to be like the page. I don't know the page.
Shine the light on it.
The Knight of Pentacles on this as well. But I don't have the Knight of Pentacles here. But I do have a lot of Pentacles. I do have the Knight of Cups. I feel like they're going to set things right. They may even offer him a deal. I don't know why I said that with the Knight of Cups. They may offer him a deal. Like, we scratch your back if you scratch ours. Or vice versa. They want to know what his what his involvement is.
They already know what his involvement was. They want to know who else was involved with him. They want the other half of the story. They want to know who was all at the table.
And I think that's going to be
the question. That's what the subpoena is about.
And that might be that peace offering that he's looking for to lessen his
future charges.
Yeah. And then I have the Nine of Pentacles here, which again, it's all about abundance, but I don't know specifically what abundance that he can gain from this other than not completely losing everything that he's earned. But unless this could be held accountable and
how's he profiting from it too?
Yeah. This could also, I'm just feeling like this could also mean too recovery of some funds that were lost.
It could be fines and penalties and stuff that the court puts upon him.
Yeah, it could be any number one of those things. But I feel like it's more about recovering the funds that were lost.
Or can he buy his way out of it?
That too. So what'd you get, Kathy?
Okay, well, the underlying card of my reading is the Star, and this is telling me that as this goes before the DOJ, I think our wishes are fulfilled, and the DOJ is going to pursue this, and and move forward, because the DOJ on the subpoena charges, they're acting as the Empress. They're moving to higher ground, and they're going to hold him accountable for this legal subpoena that he's been required to obey. So I do see that this is not going to work out in his favor. And this is led by that Queen of Wands. This is Nancy Pelosi's January 6th committee that's been put together. And the Queen of Wands committee is pursuing these charges. So that's who he's facing. And just below that, I thought it's interesting, it just caught my eye, is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. He's put all this hard work into it. For what cost? This is questioning at what cost did he put this work in? So let's see what the cards have to say. I did a line of 5, and the first thing I get is the Six of Swords in reverse. And in this deck, the Six of Swords in reverse is not moving to calmer waters. It is being blocked from the burdens in which you've created yourself and locking yourself in and not being able to escape. So he's actually moved, as he's moving across the lake, he's getting himself bound up into his own current situation. And he's put himself there. The King of Pentacles in reverse is who he's protecting, and that's 45. He thinks he's showing his loyalty by defying the subpoena. And this is one of his ways of showing his loyalty. He's willing to put his own life on the line for the greedy king, this negative King of Pentacles. He also is moving quickly, but he's tripping over his wands with the 8 of Wands in reverse. It's moving quickly, but not in his favor. He's going to be blocked, and he's gonna, he's running into obstacles as he tries to leap over those wands. He trips up over them, and that's that DOJ on these subpoena charges. This is telling me that he is locking himself up. He is not going to get away with this. That they've moved swiftly on this, and he is going to be held accountable. To what extent, we don't know. But I do get the 9 of Wands and the upright, which is a jail card. So there is going to be accountability that he's going to have to face. Will it be a hand slap accountability? Probably. But at least he will be held somewhat accountable for it. But the next question is going to go a little deeper into this that we have lined up coming after this. But who he's facing is DOJ, and they're the Queen of Swords. They're only seeking for the truth and holding him accountable. And that Queen of Swords, I think, is that January 6th committee. I think the Queen of Swords is Liz Cheney defying her party and getting rid of and holding the bullies accountable, which she keeps saying. This is her showing her leadership in the Republican Party. And granted, I don't agree with her politics, but I do agree with her stance in this regard. And I agree that the people involved in this, like Peter Navarro, definitely need to be held accountable for their actions and their involvement in this. So I think they have the right to subpoena them, and he is not above the law. He should be required to be held accountable for a subpoena. Well, we know what's going to happen if he goes before the justice. He's just going to not remember anything, but he still needs to be addressed to ask and answer the Q&As which they want to pose to him. And I don't think it's so much what he's already written, but they're wanting to seek out who also were the players, who was involved, who was sitting at the table, who was involved in this planning, who else was participating. You said 100 senators were backing you on this. Who are they? They want answers to who is all involved with this in this coup to overturn our government, and that's what they're trying to come down to, so that they can determine what laws need to be changed and this allows them to gather the information to make determinations on how they need to legally address this in our Constitution, in all the laws surrounding these kind of issues. So that's what I'm getting. But yes, I do see him being held in account. Hopefully it'll be more than a hand slap, but he will be indicted for not appearing on these subpoenas. And I guess they'll try to mandate him to appear before the committee.
You can't run away from the law. The law will catch up to you eventually.
And these people think they're above the law.
So the second question dives a little bit deeper into the subpoena question. Like,
it's his involvement and possible indictments.
Mm-hmm. Will he be facing charges of indictment for not cooperating with the investigation? Right?
No, not what? No. Will he be facing charges due to his actions in this coup, in the insurrection, for whatever numerous charges they can come up with for this conspiracy to overturn our government and our elections? So will he be facing charges?
And I say yes.
And I say yes.
Okay, so I did read on that. Like, will he be have charges, or will he be indicted? So the charges indictment, here, let me change my view. There we go. It's in the planning process right now. I have the 2 of Wands. Okay, and I feel like it's planning and it's investigation and planning. It is 2 of Wands, so it's in the early stages of what charges he will be brought on officially, right? Or what it's all about, what he's going to, it all depends on what he brings to the table, and it all depends on how he cooperates or how much he cooperates. And what led him to this? Okay, I have a lot of aces here. I have the three aces here in this reading, which is crazy because I know that means something.
Terrible. We must have got Arcanas.
Mm-hmm. So I have the what is this? Oh shit! I do have the three aces. So, but this is the first one. I have the Ace of Pentacles, which to me is, I'm reading it as reverse. It's all about greed. Greed, 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 greed. Okay. And somebody's going to be holding him accountable for it because I have, or the love of greed, I would say. The passion, that drive. Because I have the Page of Wands here. So it's that drive, that greed, that love, that desire, passion. And what is opposing this what's opposing this, or not really opposing this, but what's crossing the charges or the indictment, it's the Six of Cups, which reminiscing nostalgia. I don't know how that affects it. Or they're looking at past, or it will be looking at past events, surfacing past events, past situations that he was involved in. That's where this nostalgia is coming into place. The past. On the surface, I have Temperance. So this is, things are coming forth. I feel like Spirit is guiding us. It's like a divine intervention in a sense, where they want to like hold him accountable for his past events. Okay, to shed some light on it, to bring the healing, to close that chapter with the 10 of Swords, holding him accountable, closing it, sealing fate. That's gross. I don't know why I said it. Sealing fate. Okay, in the past, he had a lot of power, a lot of control. I have the Magician here. He orchestrated a lot of things. He had a lot of things at his fingertips that he could do. But again, like I said before, this is karmic. Why? Because he didn't do it for the good. He did it for the greed with the devil. Again, sex, drugs, rock and roll. That's all it was about. How much can he fuck somebody up? Why did I say that? How much can he fuck with somebody? How much could he gain? You know?
Luckily, we're not monetized, so you just didn't demonetize.
Do what?
I said, we're not monetized, so we didn't get demonetized.
For what?
The fuckery.
Oh, for the fuckery. But you know what? Really, we're not. This is, just for entertainment. So we're not getting any funds for it. And even if we were, what we would end up doing is we would not collect funds on this recording anyways, setting it up. But yeah, it's all about fuckery. I don't know. It's the power to do good, to make positive change, but for the wrong reasons. Fuckery. Okay. I do have for the charges, it will come. Okay. This rod is that truth. That rod is that pursuit of forward, that ambition to go forth anything. It's going to be orchestrated through a lot of investigation, hard work, uncovering the truth for him to be accountable for what he's done.
I think that's the court's victory.
Yeah. But that's what I got for charges. Or
Well, underlying my reading, I get the star in reverse, which is not good. He's followed this destiny. It was in the stars, but he's taken the negative route, and he has set his own destiny, and it's not in the stars working out for him. He's been doing the work of the Empress in reverse. This is, not living up to his higher power that's highest good. He's, basically saying he's gotten in bed with the devil. He's working in the dark side for greed, as Asper is how he said. He's not working in his light. He didn't get the Empress finding their highest good. It's the Empress of the darkness, and he's holding that stage. And ultimately, I get the jail card and the nine of swords in reverse. He is setting himself up for conviction indictments. And so this is my yes underlying the reading. Yes, that he will be indicted by DOJ for his involvement in staging and putting in motion these events, and his involvement in this plot to overturn our government and to overturn our elections. The Hermit in the center of the reading. The Hermit's shining the light. DOJ is being guided and being provided all the information. This is them working hard in their investigations and bringing everything to light to bring charges to Navarro and his participation in this coup and in this insurrection and his involvement in it and his interactions as a conspiracy to overturn our government. Whatever the numerous charges he will be indicted for, it's showing that the devil's crossing the DOJ. This is his involvement with the devil, his getting in bed with the devil, the greed, the avarice, the sex, drug, and rock and roll, and everything involved in it. This is the loyalty to his involvement with Trump and associates. My phone's ringing off the hook. Above him, right now, he is just trying to catch his breath from his battle. I think he thinks he's escaping this, but he hasn't really truly faced the music yet. And so he's at rest. He's contemplating. He's trying to look at ways to get out of it, loopholes. He's trying to get in perspective in this above it. In his past, though, I get that he's going to be bound up. He's got the Eight of Swords here. The truth is binding him up. And he can't run away from his version of the truth, his version of his justifications for what he was doing. He's already publicized it. It's out there. And it will be used against him. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse is, that greed. He was doing this for self-embetterment, self-improvement, for financial gain, for power. And in his future, he's going to continue to try to work in this fool's journey. But, again, we get the fool's journey in reverse. He's running with his, this is his cycle through this fool's journey that's going to be revealed, and his negative aspects in it. His leap of faith failed him. And his plans and ideas and path that he went on, He's chosen a dark path, and now he's going to have to face the music of that path that he's created for himself. Um, as he's running on slippery ground, um, I get the high priestess upright. I think this is his fear of the judiciary that he's going to be facing because they're going to bring this to the light. They're going to use their higher power and they're good for the nation to make the judgment. Um, and his hopes and his fears is that he doesn't break his loyalty to the 245, that king. You know, now we're asking, will he hold true to his convictions? Is he willing to go to jail for this man? And I'm hearing yes, he will go to jail. He will try to not accept any of the he's justifying everything he's done. He thinks he's right. He thinks he's done this in honor of his king. But he's going to be held accountable for it. Because here again, I got that Queen of Wands, that knowledge, that justice, that fiery power that's coming after him. And he is ultimately his outcome is he's going to be proven as the naive page of cups. His emotional convictions failed him. He was young, naive, and stupid in the actions that he took, and he will be held to account. So I don't see this as a good outcome for him. I do see him ending up serving some serious time for his actions, ending his political career. Thank God we don't need people like him in politics. And I think right now DOJ, and I get tired of hearing people complaining that they're not doing anything. It takes a lot for our DOJ to be able to work so confidentially without leaks coming out of his office on a regular basis. And considering the number of people from the Trump administration that are still actively working in the DOJ, for him to keep the cap on it so tightly, I say they're doing a good job. He's not going to show his hand until he's ready to prosecute. And that's what we need. We need a DOJ that can keep the lid on it and keep everything from leaking out before they're ready to present their case. And when it does go to court, when these cases start going to court, they will be prepared with winning cases. I think all the evidence is there. They're waiting for January 6th committee to finish up to help contribute to there, because January 6th isn't going to hand everything on a silver platter before they get their reveal done. And I think then they're going to turn over a lot of the unspoken evidence to DOJ to continue building their case on. So don't see things working out very good for Navarro. And yes, Dean, I will send you some of the interviews that he did online for his conviction. You're on mute. But this guy
not that it matters.
Guy is a piece of work, and you've got to see him speak about it. It's you're gonna love I will send you the interviews where he told it like it's such great fact, and Ali is sitting there going, you're just admitting on public television that you're trying to overturn your government, and he's like, no, it's hilarious. It's foot and mouth moments that are just priceless.
Or you feel so indestructible, so indestructible that you can say anything, get away with anything, right?
Right. And he even wrote an entire book on it, on his involvement and everything. I mean, I haven't bought the book because I don't want to contribute to his wealth, but I'm sure I can manage to get a free copy of it eventually on my Kindle. Somebody that's bought it, put it in the Liter's library so I can borrow it and read it.
I bet you'd find it as entertainment. Remember?
Oh, I read. Well, you know me. I read a lot. I'm an avid reader, an avid researcher. But I will send you some news footage because you really got to see the interviews. They were just priceless. And I know you don't watch a lot of news, so I don't blame you, because there's no reason to pollute your soul so deeply.
And again, this is all for entertainment purposes only, as it says in the description below.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
We do have one more question, though, Kathy.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yes. This was the cake topper. Will he be brought up on any charges regarding insurrection? And
that's what I read on. Yes.
Oh, well, I read on this specifically.
Oh, that's what my reading was on. Yes, he will be indicted.
Yes. Again, I get in similar cards again for the trickery, the stealing, or pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. And my guides told me to use the bottom of my deck. And so I'm working down the bottom of my deck. So this is the face card at the bottom of my deck after dishing out the cards. And the top of my deck is the 10 of Swords. So it's bringing an end to whatever fuckery this is. Okay. Again, like Kathy, I do have the Star and a Tower. So again, he's having his Tower moment. He's destroyed everything. He's destroying everything he's built up on. Okay. And he's not going to have, I don't see any type of credibility he's going to have. I just don't see it within this deck.
That Tower is the light from God.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't really read every single card negatively. I'm just gonna, because I have to have him all. So basically, this is his own fall from grace. Basically, everything he was sent here to do, he didn't. He let greed intervene, and he basically got himself orchestrated with people that didn't have his best intentions in mind. And again, this illusion delusion mindset that he has right here with the 7 of Cups, which is crossing the situation. This is telling me that he's still either full of himself and still thinks he did nothing wrong, but eventually your balloon, you're going to have to land that balloon from out of these clouds. You're going to have to be held accountable for all of everything you orchestrated, right? Now, on the surface, I have, again, more illusions. I have secrecy. I have things hidden from plain sight. I have things that he doesn't want to be known. But again, like I said, the truth will set you free, because I do have the High Priestess above. And I feel like this is a form of like the higher purpose holding him, Lady Justice, or someone with power holding him accountable, calling his bullshit flag. You know, they could see past. This is whoever this is, male or female, or a party or a group, is going to say bullshit on what he's trying to hide. Okay. In the past, again, I get the Page of Cups, feeling like I'm the victim in all this somehow. Not me. Woe is me. But woe is you wrong. Because remember, again, I get sex, drugs, rock and roll. The devil has came up quite a bit for him, and throughout the readings. This Page of Cups has come up quite a bit. The Moon has come up quite a bit for him. I think the Tower has too. Actually, I have a repeat of the same cards over and over again for him.
I think the card that best represents him is the 7 of Cups. It's the illusion, the picture he's been painting.
Yes.
He wrote this. He orchestrated it. He put the plan in motion. He got everybody on board. You know, he executed it, and he's already admitted he has, and he's proud of it. Mm-hmm. And he's even wrote a book laying it out. This was my idea. I mean, if you can't convict him on the written evidence and his verbal evidence, it's like, oh my God, you know, what's wrong with our country? We need to
even if everything he wrote was a lie, he would still need to participate for entertainment purposes. Let's just mind you, he would still have to participate show up to his hearing to have this mass investigation to find out what of this is true or not true, or what if of this ugliness is true or not true, even if it was orchestrated, fictitious, right? Again, I have somebody here that's going to be looking at this with a fine-tooth comb. This is the King of Swords, finding truth. This is legalese. The people that have the power that will hold them accountable to figure out how much of the
revealing the truth.
Yes. He will be forced into submission to comply with the Three of Pentacles. He will have to work with law, the legal side of it. He's going to have to comply. There's no avoiding it. And he's going to rat some more people out, or I see that he will bring the truth out about the players that are involved.
It's bringing forth the truth of who was all players. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, I have the Ace of Wands, which is telling me that it's a new future is going to be pursued because of this, a new outcome.
Light being brought to the knowledge he's holding.
Yes. So that was our questions on the Peter Navarro scandals.
We'll be hitting some more of the dirty the dirty five that are avoiding subpoenas. So look forward to our future readings, because we have 5 of them to do, and let's hit one on each one of them as we go. I may have to bring Dean up to speed on the news because he doesn't watch it.
I tend not to watch a lot of it because it's nothing really ever positive. It's a lot of negativity. No matter what you watch, whether you watch commentary,
and we try to stay online, or dimness in.
Whether you watch CNN, Fox News, whatever that new format is, or your local news, it doesn't matter. It's all everyone has. I don't know what's the truth, and I don't like hearing multiple variations of other people's opinion.
Well, even our more democratic leaning liberal news broadcasts are quite biased as well.
Yes.
And I know you don't watch the news. You catch the news feeds on your phone as they pop up periodically and read the headlines. You don't jump into the storylines. I mean, just that the news feed's enough to overwhelm you without having to actually dive into the actual broadcasts and stuff. It can bring you out of that light sometimes and cause a lot of disparity. So remember to have faith in our system. This will work out in some positive aspects. I do. I've foreseen, even in my predictions of 2022, I foresee a lot of legislative changes coming in regards to voters' rights, in regards to campaign fundraising, in regards to gerrymandering. And I think they're going to even work towards, in the next round of our administration, as there's a shift in power, they will work towards eliminating the electoral college, and votes will be better counted based on the popularity vote and those standing, and not using an electoral college to overturn these votes. When you've gained so many electoral college, even though the other candidate has 100,000 more votes, they shouldn't be losing to electoral college, because they've districted so strategically that all they had to do was get this district, that district, and never to overtake an election when the majority of people have voted the opposite. So I think we are going to see some major, major changes in our election laws, our election rules, and our fundraising campaigns, and some limits, some overturning of corporate donations and their ability to feed billions and billions of dollars into these campaigns and buy power I think you're going to see a lot of that changing. More of it'll change over a long period of time due to the fact that we've got a lot of old people, old politicians that all from both parties, all parties, have had their hands in corporate donations and that working for them. I think as the younger people come and take power and are allowed to start representing the people and they retire out the older generations, I think you're going to see a lot of that change. They're not going to be allowing those major corporates, they're not going to be bought like they are now. And I do think that in the next 10 to 20 years, you are going to see a turnaround in our election process of that. And we're going to mirror more like what Australia is doing, what Canada is doing on limited amounts of funds that can be donated from corporations, from individuals, etc. So, and I think that will make and God, I'd love to see limits on campaign processes. It shouldn't start the next campaign the minute the elections are over. This 4 years of campaigning while he held office is just absolutely, utterly ridiculous. That should never. When did he do the work? He never did the work. He never acted as president. All he was doing is campaigning for 4 years, trying to win the next election. And I think that's got to stop. So we'll see how our politics are going. And I do see more parties coming out of this. A lot of shift in what the Republican Party is represented by, how that divides. I think there's going to be a major shift in our Republican Party. It's going to be split into two parties. And one is going to be more of the old Republican way of thought. And then there's going to be the Trumpster type
Republicans, right?
I also see a division in the Democratic Party over time too. You're going to have your more traditional Democrats that sit on their hands and not stand up to the podium, and then our youth is going to bring maybe that's the new Green Party or something. I don't know what they'll call it, but it's going to be that innovation party that wants change and increase in making our world a better place to live, push for clean water, clean air, green resources. They're going to move our country in that direction. And that's our youth coming up. That's our next few generations that are going to make that evolution in the next 30 years. We are in a reset, a transition into the evolution of our world right now. Understand that that's what this process is. This is going to go on for the next 20 to 30 years before you see that evolution of the changes in this world. But when the changes do get set in, they're going to be for the betterment of all. And you're going to see huge changes in our natural resources, our energy, our clean waters, our earth getting revived, the way we feed our people, the way we employ our people. There's going to be a lot more equality. And I even see that there will be shifts in this division of races and stuff. I think that'll eventually get eliminated. And that will be something that is no longer spoke of. There's not going to be a superior group of race. People aren't buying it. Even white people aren't buying it anymore. I've never felt superior over anybody. I'm just another peon in the pot. And I've faced as much discrimination as anybody else out there. Don't believe me that I'm a redhead grew up with the last name of Bean. I mean, I was teased all throughout my life and bullied. So anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And we will be doing some more political readings. We'll probably record them because we tend to start in a private conversation and say, why are we recording this? So we'll get better on doing our politicals and getting them out there. And we love you, and we will see you on our next live.
Yep. Bye, everybody.
Bye.